Madison High School folks, and welcome to week 3. Okay, since we are getting started in the big stuff for this week, just so that you know, um, we're going to be prioritizing finishing up your very first draft of your literacy narrative. Now, since this is your first essay that you've written for me, we're going to really kind of like develop it and nurture it and give some peer review on it. In getting through our objectives for this week, what I really want you to think about is how you can draft this in order to tell your own story. And so, as you're putting your thoughts together, like really think about things that have influenced you, have changed the way that you view the world, and also um, help us understand who you are as a person who has lived a full life. And so there are some different things that I have here for you. Some are more important than others, so just bear with me for a moment. So here are objectives for the week. I sent that out for you. What you're going to notice is that I have some things here that are supports, and then I have some things that are readings. So the readings that we're going to be discussing for literature are right here, Superman and Me and Oliver Schouten. So Superman and Me is not in your Norton, but the Oliver Schouten is. And I think I've mentioned this a couple times, but if you have an older edition, most of these readings are going to be in the older edition. They just might have some page numbers that might be a little off. And so just look in the glossary and see if it's in there before you go, it's not on the page. So there are some different reading assignments that I have here. A lot of these are like supplemental or additional or helpful pieces. And we'll go through those in a moment. So what you want to click on is readings for week 3. And so in readings for week 3, you've got how to connect ideas in an essay piece that I want you to read to help you with your development. Superman and Me, which has a writing workshop attached to it. And then you've got some pieces that talk about the qualities of a literacy narrative, paragraphs, topic sentences, and transitions. And then I do have some writing guidance here. These are going to be elements on a sentence level or on a proofreading level that might provide some extra guidelines for you. Okay, so kind of moving on, the writing workshop, Superman and Me, is going to be the first thing that I want you to do to really develop your ideas for this piece. So you're going to kind of go through and annotate as you have been doing for Superman and Me, and then Theme for English B by Langston Hughes. And so if you've already annotated Theme for English B because of some things that we did last week, you are welcome to just bypass and not annotate that again since you've already done it. But if you had not had a chance to annotate this, it is one of the options for your essay one. So make sure that you have annotated that at least once. So right here, this is a personal narrative essay called Superman and Me by Sherman Alexie. Sherman Alexie is a problematic author. I'll go ahead and just put that out there right now. He has been accused of sexual assault, so there is a little bit of separating the art from the artist that we are going to be doing with this piece. But it is beautiful. One, because there's that wonderful new movie that came out, and I'm a big Superman girl, and so I love the story that Sherman Alexie is telling about literacy and how comics are a part of our literacy. And so it's a really powerful piece, and I think that you'll really enjoy it. And so this is the piece that's going to be the basis for our discussion. So you're going to do a writing workshop, and you are going to highlight, annotate, engage with the text, and you're going to upload those annotations right here. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not going to upload your annotations. You should annotate, but you won't be uploading them this week. But they will be aiding you in your discussion for Superman and Me, and that will be on this link. And so this one is really, I think that I've had a few questions about this. For discussion posts in general, I don't word count as much. I also, because they're formative, I'm really thinking more about how you're interacting with the text in a low stakes way. So please don't worry about answering every single question. Please don't worry about making sure that you are like exactly at 250 words. I want to see how you're engaging with these pieces and writing about them. So you should be engaging, you should write, you should answer some of the questions, but what you write is really up to you. And that's what I want it to continue to be. And so on here, I want you to see that you've got a lot of support. And since I'm not right in front of you, you're going to have a lot of people around you to help springboard some ideas off of it while you're in class together. So, what you're going to see is I've got some tips about outlining. No, there is no outline due, it's just some tips for you. But then also some tips on intros and body paragraphs, thesis statements, and then a self reflection checklist on voice and style. And so, kind of looking ahead at this, I know that this may or may not be completely new to people, but these are things that you should incorporate into personal narrative writing or writing in general. So, voice, which is the color and texture of your words, your word choice and diction, if you identify more so as like a person that lives in the country, you can incorporate some of those terms that you use in your everyday life to make that like really pop. If you associate more with a different community of people, then you can uplift that diction. Just feel free to like really celebrate who you are and to put things in there that really resonate with who you are as a person. And so you've got these guidelines here to help as you're in the writing of the first draft. So to keep this essay, this piece from being too long, your main goals for the week. Once you've read through and you have kind of an idea of Superman and Me, I want you to discuss this with your peers first and have a conversation. As you are having a conversation about some of those elements of personal literacy narratives, you're going to be working on your first draft. Your first draft is just a draft. It is formative, so it's only going to be 1 point. And so I'm looking more that you are developing something that you can work with in regards to review and working with other people next week. So I don't care what it looks like for your first draft, just so long as you have a draft that you can work with. So those are our objectives for the week. So now we're getting into the big heavy hitting stuff and we're a third of the way we're 3/8 of the way through the course. So after next week, we'll be through half of the course. So on that note, I hope that you all have a wonderful week and I look forward to seeing you on the discussion boards. See you later.